Hello there. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. And I just realized I need to shave tomorrow. Or tonight, but probably tomorrow. Oh, no. Actually, I'm gonna try tonight. Why not? Actually, I'll just see later. I don't know. We... Alright, Alrighty. Hang on a sec. Of course, it's not fucking working, so I'm just gonna do it myself then. Eh. Publish everywhere. Wahaha. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing something that is for certain. And... Alrighty. Boom. Okay. Today was a little crazy. But alright, alright. Let's turn on 50 again. Do 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 do. Oh fuck! I forgot the. Hang on. Okay, that's fine. Fuck. Well, fuck it. Whatever. Well, nah. Let's not fuck it. I'm gonna shave later if I can. Fuck. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Alrighty then. Of course, Zippy is still... Okay, yeah, I did this quickly because I didn't have a lot of time. Righto. Righto. The internet might be better now because we got a new router and a new like a new Wi-Fi thing? I don't know how to call it. So yeah. Do 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 do. Yeah. I think I can confirm that it really is the time zones and the time that makes it so people don't come here. Conclusion. I will probably still do some like late night streams, but less. At least when I get my new house. Anyway, I'll see that later. For now, we need to watch videos. Apply. We're on Wednesday, right? Yep, so it is YouTube time. Oh no. Oh no. I will not get catching myself again. Huh? Did I get a Discord notif? Okay, no, it's just me gaslighting myself or something. Alrighty. Oops. Daisy. Watch later. Alrighty. Okay, we will be watching that much later. For now, we shall be watching a little birdie in a fairy garden, apparently, or something like that. Oh fuck, I forgot the sound. How's the sound doing? Dial up sound. Yes, that's not what I want, game. There it is. Of course it's not working. Where's the game sound? There it is. And there it is. Will it? Oh no, it actually fits for once. Nice. Hang on. Windows capture. Yeah, okay, it fits. Alrighty. It's a shame. VTuber Lord Simp is missing on ads. Oh, how disappointed he must be. Maybe. Ooh. Alright, let's skip that.
So, we know how much Prince loves the Forbidden Cup.
This is one of people I follow who has a little parrot who apparently loves something called the Forbidden Cupboard, where he throws everything on the fucking ground. I don't know why.
Cupboard. We're gonna make her a cupboard that is a little fairy garden gnome house kind of vibe. I've spent way too much money. Shut up, that's so cute. These also were the size of my face, and I thought they were gonna be the size of like a finger. And then we wanted to give her a log so she could like go through a log, play in the log kind of vibe. I got moss, and I wasn't about to pay $30 or $40 at Michael's to get moss. So I went foraging today. Look at that shit.
I like how you can hear the little birdie chirping in the background.
At Michael's for free in the forest. This is like the greenery, so I'm thinking we start by taking the greenery and then putting it on.
Thing is I saw a short for that and I was like, must watch on stream.
Like all sides of this.
I
made this like at Christmas time.
Last year,
I
yeah.
wanted like a goth Christmas gnome house, so she could.
Oops, I forgot my Kleenex box.
This is gonna be so cute. And we got mushrooms. I think I need to do like double-sided tape at the bottom of it. Okay, so I'm having some trouble.
That's me with scotch tape. Oh boy. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Oops, fuck, wrong thing.
It's gonna be so cute. And we got mushrooms. I think I need to do like double-sided tape at the bottom of it. Okay, so I'm having some troubles with the tape because it doesn't.
Yeah, I know exactly the pain.
What the actual? I'm not a crafter.
Clearly.
Oh my god.
Hmm?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Here, up. Is everything okay?
Punch it into submission.
She's angry. This is why she doesn't do DIY shit. Hey, the roof is looking shit.
Shut the fuck speak about my roof like that.
Hey, the roof is looking
we might not have
good.
enough to cover all of the sides. Put the roof at the back.
Huh?
And just do the whole like main part. Oh, there is left. Oh my god, I just ripped it.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, it just ripped. Oh
What
my god,
did you
put it
tell?
under the
Yeah,
flower.
because it was the pressure.
No! The ceiling is the back, and then I'm gonna make a jank ass ceiling.
Don't you need that off? Why are you putting it back on?
Oh yeah.
Are you kidding me? Are you serious?
This is the best
Why
wall.
did you? Oh my god, you made it worse.
How did I make it work? Oh,
Are-
my teachers didn't believe in me, but I will believe in me. I need to cut this for like the little. Can you scissor me?
What?
Why are you laughing? Why?
Can you scissor me?
Why are you laughing? Why Like,
Your scissoring is really good.
no, I actually like scissored that like a really bad
you-
way. We actually might be able to get the whole top done. It's gonna look ugly as fuck.
No, no.
Scissor me.
Sounds like me.
Not too long.
The fuck are they doing?
Homophobic.
My bitch is gay. Even I am gay.
Ew, I took shit.
What?
Me too.
Pokey, pokey, ah!
Film from a top-down angle, similarly to how you avoid my double chin in most angles.
Right.
You just don't want to get the roof of it.
It kind of looks like shingles, right?
It looks
Angles.
Right.
You just don't want to get the roof of it.
It kind of looks like shingles.
it looks like someone tried to soundproof the room really, really badly or something. Oh la 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 la. Well, anyway, let's continue.
Right?
All of the free moss that we stole from the forest, I'm gonna like spread it apart and hot glue it onto here with some like maybe
Ooh,
some
hot
pine
glue.
cones, but I kind of want to take out the mini mushrooms to see if I can add those on.
I remember hot glue. I was so marveled by the fact that a stick of glue could go in a gun and get put on like a something and that be glued. So I don't know what I'm saying.
We have the.
Oh, cute!
Oh yeah!
Look,
Nice.
there's a bird fountain.
There's a what? Cute.
That is so,
So
cute.
So fucking cute. I want to hug it.
welcome? Oh my god, we should write not welcome on it.
Not
Like,
welcome.
Maybe
Hey.
add a mushroom into it or something.
Huh, that looks exactly what I used to sell middle schoolers.
Oh wow! Even
Wrap
the
them up.
the glue gun is cute.
Oh wow,
That landed again. Nope.
Nice.
Can you stop throwing it?
Way bigger than I thought.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Dang.
Here.
That's what. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect
Wait,
construction.
That's a bug.
Where?
That's a bug.
I don't care.
Oh shit.
It's from the moss. No, I'm not gonna hot glue it. That's mean.
Oh my god.
It's mean gluing a bug.
This is gonna be kind of cute, I think.
I'm bringing it.
Sticking pretty fast on here. Yes, we have to add a little mushroom. Pine cones and mushrooms down.
It's cute.
Right there. I just added the door. That's working with something. The sign that it came with says welcome. Oh no, in Prince's world, we are not welcome. So we have to make this sign a little bit more correct.
Hello. I already did an ad earlier. We can do the ad after this then.
I am hanging moss. I'm gonna tape this. I feel like that just gives like swamp Shrek vibes.
Hello.
Out of the swamp, I feel like the point of entry needs the not welcome sign.
That is so cute.
That's so cute! A lot more shit to add, and I don't know if it's all gonna fit. Should her gnome buddy?
The context, by the way, is they have a bird and she keeps going in the forbidden cupboard, throwing things on the ground. So now they're doing this.
Actually, should this be the gnome's house? Stop! Yeah. And then because she's a drug dealer, we can do all
What?
of the mushrooms around.
Where did they come from?
Okay, if we put the
You make me so angry. I mean, it's gonna be like a minute. The ad that is, but okay, fine, fair enough.
trees inside this like bed of moss, they kind of like just to fit on this. Oh fuck! This is another mushroom house, and I don't think there's space. But like
Okay.
a bird bath needs to happen. This becomes too cluttered. Add it like up here. That's pretty cute.
That's actually.
Okay, what is
Boom.
the princess's reaction?
What's going on?
God.
What's inside there, Fred? Get out me swamp!
Get out.
Wait, what's that hole? Oh, what's in there?
Wait, I want.
Oh my!
Yay!
Fine.
Oh.
Come in. No me. Oh my god.
Ah! He broke.
He once told me the world is gonna. I ain't the sharpest. No.
Oh, what?
No, she's breaking it.
No,
She's breaking everything.
no,
Dude, you're going into the
Prince, no, don't stop! Stop right now! Why are you dancing?
Daddy once told me. Out of the ceiling. You don't need to. Did you have funsies?
No. No. Bon. Alright, time to do an ad because the VTuber ad simp made me do an ad. Not my fault. Anyway, I will be right back. I am back, but yeah, I'm gonna be. Fuck. I forgot that I was typing in my own chat. But yeah, we will be doing pancakes on Saturday, I think, morning. Probably because my parents aren't there to stop me from streaming. Oh my gosh, you're doing pancakes, stop it! Well, they don't say that, but you know. Look, it's more fucking ads again. Woohoo. What the fuck?
Today's video is brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one website platform for anybody who wants an amazing-looking website in no time at all. Squarespace is not just a website platform, season pro to create. Now they have offering buy now, pay later options like Afterpay and ClearPay. Squarespace is brought to you by Squarespace.
I thought I had skipped somehow.
Squarespace store. Now the cards do. It's all of this, whether you're an expert easily. From uploading, ready to take your online presence to the next. Use the promo code BRAINFOOD to save 10% on your first purchase of a website or a domain. And now back to today's video. Ah, a nice warm bowl of oatmeal. Could there be a more hearty or wholesome breakfast? Loaded with fiber, nutrients, and if you're feeling decadent, a dash of brown sugar.
I don't know
the perfect way to
why
start
that's
your
there,
day.
but okay.
Also, the big cereal companies and their cheery adverts would have you believe. But for a group of Massachusetts orphans in the 1950s and 60s, this breakfast of champions came with an extra unexpected ingredient: a whopping dose of radiation. Unwitting guinea pigs in a secret study funded by Quaker Oats and MIT, these children were some of the thousands of victims of the most unethical decades of American medical research. This is the disturbing story of the Fernald State School oatmeal experiments. Our story begins at the Walter E. Fernald State School, located in Waltham, Massachusetts. Founded in 1888 as the experimental school for teaching and training idiotic children, Fernald was
Idiotic
of the
children?
American eugenics movement.
Well, I guess they did
To
call it
improve the
like
nation's
that.
Genetic stock and society was the product of the American eugenics movement, which sought to improve the nation's genetic stock and society as a whole by preventing those individuals seen as defective from breeding. Institutions like Fernald, of which there were nearly 100 across the United States, were designed to house, isolate, and in certain cases forcibly sterilize children who were deemed to be feeble-minded. Tragically, nearly half of those committed to Fernald were not mentally disabled at all, achieving average scores and IQ tests. They were simply poor, uneducated children who had been orphaned or dumped at the school by parents who could not afford to take care of them. And dumped is the appropriate term, according to former resident Fred Boyce, who was admitted in 1949 at the age of 8 when his foster mother died. He said, "We thought for a long time that we belonged there, that we were not part of the species. We thought we were some kind of, people that wasn't supposed to be born. They, the state government, didn't have to look for homes for you, so they could just dump you off in these human warehouses and just let you rot. That's what they did. They let us rot."
Dang,
Conditions
okay.
were cramped and Spartan. At its peak, the institution housed some 2,500 people, the children often being packed in 30 to a room. And to cut operating costs, the residents performed most of the manual labor around the school. As Michael D'Antonio, author of the book The State Boys Rebellion, writes, "The kids at Fernald raised the vegetables that they ate. They sewed the soles on the shoes that they wore.
yeah.
They manufactured the brooms that they used to sweep the floor." Despite its name, very little education took place at Fernald State School, and what was provided was woefully inadequate. Quoting again, "It was a school in name only. A child would experience the first year of school 5 or 6 times in a row. He would read the same Dick and Jane reader and never make any progress because the school wasn't equipped to actually educate children. It was there as a sort of holding pen." End quote. And then there was the abuse. Corporal punishment was a way of life at Fernald, freely meted out for the most minor of offences, or often none at all. According to former resident Joe Almeida, who was abandoned at the school by his parents at the age of 8, the staff held a regular event called Red Cherry Day, in which the children would sit in a circle and be called up alphabetically. And lucky me, my name is what? Almeida. You'd get up in front of all these kids, and you would pull down your pants. You'd pull down your underpants, and they'd make you turn around, and they'd whack your ass with this branch until it was red
Dang.
like a cherry.
Okay.
These people were sick that worked there. End quote. And as you would expect from such a power dynamic, sexual abuse was also rampant. Unsurprisingly, many children chose to rebel, often by running away. Those who were caught were sent to the school's infamous Ward 22, where they were stripped naked and locked in solitary confinement for weeks on end. Then, in 1946, the school announced that it was creating a science club, whose members would be privy to all sorts of perks, including extra oatmeal and milk for breakfast, gifts like Mickey Mouse watches, and tickets to Boston Red Sox games. Given the bleak nature of their everyday existence, residents signed up in droves. Those who still had parents received the following consent form from the school administration. "Dear parents, in previous years we have done some examinations in connection with the nutritional department of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology with the purposes of helping to improve the nutrition of our children and to help them in general more efficiently than before. For the checking up of the children, we occasionally need to take some blood samples, which are then analysed. Blood samples are taken after one test meal, which consists of a special breakfast meal containing a certain amount of calcium. We have asked for volunteers to give a sample of blood once a month for 3 months, and your son has agreed to volunteer because the boys who belong to the science club have
Thank you for the
many additional
lurkies.
privileges. They get a quart of milk daily during that time and are taken to a baseball game, to the beach, and to some outside dinners, and they enjoy it greatly. I hope you have no objection that your son is voluntarily participating in this
What?
study.
What kind
The
of-
first study will start on Monday, June 8th, and if you have not expressed any objections, we will assume that your son may participate. Sincerely yours, Clemens E. Bender, MD. Clinical Director. What the letter failed to mention was that these special breakfast meals were laced with radioactive tracers, for the Science Club was in fact a cover for an MIT nutritional study conducted on behalf of the Quaker Oats Company. At the time, the company was eager to validate the nutritional value of its products. Recent studies suggested that the high levels of phytate found in oats inhibited the absorption of iron, a problem which Quaker's main hot cereal rival, cream of wheat, did not have. Furthermore, both companies were facing increasing competition from sugary dry breakfast cereals whose popularity was booming thanks to modern advertising techniques. Lasting from 1946 to 1956, the experiments at Fernald were largely conducted by MIT nutrition professor Robert Harris and PhD student Felix Bronner, whose research was funded through a Quaker Oats fellowship. Over the course of the study, more than 100 residents of the school were fed oatmeal and milk laced with radioactive iron-59 and calcium-47 and received intravenous calcium injections. These traces allowed the movement of these elements throughout the body to be tracked.
This is really, really fucking crazy.
Using radiation detectors. To Quaker Oats' delight, the study revealed that oatmeal was no worse at promoting iron absorption than cream of wheat. Harris and Bronner also discovered that calcium, both ingested and injected, is deposited straight into the bones. So, the next time you see an advertisement claiming that milk helps build strong bones, know that this claim derives from non-consensual human experimentation.
Oh god.
Indeed, while the Fernald study would never pass a research ethics board review today, it was hardly the only case of unethical human experimentation in the United States at the time, or even the worst. As we've covered in our previous video, that time US scientists injected plutonium into people without their knowledge, and that time the United States tested biological warfare on its own citizens, the early Cold War period was something of a golden age for this kind of research, the unethical nature of which was typically justified in the name of national security. Nor was the Fernald study the only one conducted on a vulnerable...
Oh yeah, the research he's talking about his own citizens is I think it was a chemical that was released in like San Francisco or something that gave people like the cough or the flu or something like that. The only reason it stopped is because someone died of a heart attack related to it because of underlying conditions, I believe, or something like that.
Institutionalized population. For example, from the 1950s to the 1970s, hundreds of inmates at Philadelphia's Holmesburg prison were used as human guinea pigs to test the effects of various toxins, creams, detergents, and other products on their skin, while between 1946 and 1948, the United States Public Health Service infected 700 prostitutes, prison inmates, and psychiatric patients in Guatemala with syphilis, gonorrhea, and chancroid in order to study the progress of these diseases. And of course, there were the CIA's infamous MK-Ultra experiments, in which thousands of unwitting subjects, including prisoners and psychiatric patients, were subjected to electric shock therapy, hallucinogenic drugs, and other forms of psychological torture in an ultimately unsuccessful attempt to develop effective mind control, interrogation, and brainwashing techniques. According to John Lantos, an expert in medical ethics at the University of Missouri Kansas City School of Medicine and expert in medical ethics, such experiments were indicative of America's post-war mindset, quoting, "Technology was good. We were the leaders. We were the good guys. So anything we did could not be bad." The tragic irony is that less than a decade before, the discovery of Nazi human experiments had led to the drafting of the Nuremberg Code, which stated that, quote, "The voluntary consent of the human subject is absolutely essential. This means that the person involved should have legal capacity to give consent, should be situated as to be able to exercise free power of choice without the intervention of any element of force, fraud, deceit, duress, overreaching, or other ulterior form of constraint or coercion, and should have sufficient knowledge and comprehension of the elements of the subject matter involved as to enable him to make an understanding and enlightened decision. This latter element requires that before the acceptance of an affirmative decision by the experimental subject, there should be made known to him the nature, duration, and purpose of the experiment, the method and means by which it is to be conducted, all inconveniences and hazards reasonably to be expected, and the effects upon his health or person which may possibly come from his participation in the experiment. Despite this, after the war, most American scientific institutions adopted ethical guidelines which required consent, but not informed consent. That is, subjects simply had to agree to participate in an experiment. They didn't have to be told the real purpose of said experiment or the potential risks or even exactly what was being done at all, such as we covered in our recent video, injecting people with cancer without their consent. It was not until 1953 that the National Institutes of Health created the first federal research ethics guidelines explicitly requiring informed consent, and not until 1974 that the federal government passed the National Research Act, establishing a national procedure for ethical review in medical research. But for many members of the Fernald Science Club, things were about to get significantly worse. By the 1960s, eugenics had become a dirty word, and a deinstitutionalization movement had begun to sweep the psychiatric field. Consequently, Fernald and other institutions began releasing all but their most severely disabled residents. However, no effort was made to reintegrate these residents into society, and with barely any education or useful skills, many struggled to get by. Fred Boyce and Joe Almeida both left Fernald in 1960 at the age of 19, with Boyce joining the carnival circuit and touring around
I think they have Down syndrome just by looking at their faces.
the country. In his 40s, Almeida felt himself drawn back to Fernald State School, now Walter E. Fernald Development Center, where he worked as a driver for 20 years. As he later explains, "I always felt like they owed me. I always felt that they owed me because they took the most important thing of my life away. They took away my childhood and my education, the two things that you need in life to make it. They took from me."
Prenez bien
Oh,
soin
hello,
de ma Fiat
abs.
500E. Le stationnement, c'est pour demain ou pour maintenant?
La Fiat 500e. Profitez d'offres de location avantageuses comme celle-ci. Wix gives you the
Oh,
power
Wix.
of AI
Hello.
to build
No,
a
I don't
website
want that
you
shit. Go away.
Full
Shoo.
business
Shoo,
functionality.
shoo, 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 shoo.
All the while, however, Boyce, Almeida, and the other Science Club members remained unaware that they had been used as human guinea pigs. It was not until 1993 when Secretary of Energy Hazel O'Leary declassified a number of Atomic Energy Commission documents from the 40s and 50s that the truth about the experiments finally came out.
Sorry if Zippy is like leaning everywhere. It's because I'm having my hands in my mouth for some freaking reason. So yeah.
On December the 26th of that year, the story was broken by the Boston Globe. Soon, other publications began urging victims to come forward. Upon learning of the experiments, Fred Boyce gathered together 30 of his fellow Fernald classmates and launched a class action lawsuit against MIT, Quaker Oats, and the US government. Meanwhile, Senator Edward Kennedy chaired a hearing before the Senate's Committee on Labor and Human Resources to investigate the Fernald experiments. Questioning Konstantin Maletskos, one of the study's organizers, Kennedy asked why the study had been conducted on institutionalized orphans instead of MIT students. Quote, "Aren't you appalled at the fact that the most vulnerable people in our society, which are young people, 7, 8 years old, that are in an institution, aren't you appalled that they were the ones selected?" Maletskos claimed that he and his colleagues were following the ethical guidelines of the time and that the choice of subjects was scientifically necessary, saying, "Because in all of these experiments, you have to have control of the subjects. You just can't let them walk around. You have to collect 100% of the excretions. You have to see that they're eating properly and all this kind of thing. Unless you do it that way, you're not going to have a good experiment." And as for the Science Club aspect of the study, Maletskos denied that it was any kind of ruse. It was an afterthought, as I gather, that somebody was talking about. It would be nice to do something for them because these kids have been involved. We've had to jab them and they had to eat a meal, every little drop of it, because you wanted to be sure they got 100% of the radioactivity. Wouldn't it be nice to do something for them? Also called to testify was J. David Litzter, Dean of Research at MIT, who was questioned about the health effects of the radioactive traces the study's subjects were made to ingest. Litzter revealed that the traces had exposed the children to between 170 to 330 milligrams of radiation, equivalent to receiving 30 consecutive chest x-rays. This kind of dose, he explained, would have given the children a 1 in 2,000 chance of developing cancer, barely higher than the national average. Indeed, in 1994, Massachusetts State Panel confirmed that none of the students had developed any health conditions that could be directly traced to the
Well, that's fucking good.
radioactive isotopes used in the Fernald study. But for Fred Boyce, Joe Almeida, and the other Fernald students, their lawsuit was less about radioactivity than the unethical nature of the study. And while MIT claimed that the study followed the ethical guidelines of the time, and Quaker Oats denied it played little direct role in the research, contributing some cereal and a small research grant, in 1998 both decided to settle out of court, paying the plaintiff $60,000 in compensation. It was a small victory, but one which helped bring some justice and closure to one of the darkest periods in American science. Bonus facts. Speaking of sadistic individuals and institutions and breakfast...
All right, let's not do that. Doo-doo. Let's watch this. I am curious.
Waking a sleepwalker is not dangerous.
Oh?
Gently guiding them back to bed is safer than letting them wander. Bulls don't get
No shit, of course it is.
angry at the color red, they are colorblind to it. They charge at the movement of the matador's cape, not its color. Goldfish don't grow to the size of their tank. They grow normally, just like every other animal. Touching frogs does not give you warts. Dropping a penny from a skyscraper can't kill someone, mainly thanks to air resistance.
Oh yeah, I heard also that. Hang on.
Dropping a penny from a skyscraper can't kill someone, mainly thanks to air resistance.
I heard that if you drop a penny, sometimes it doesn't reach the ground for a long time because of the wind.
Hair and fingernails don't continue to grow after death. The skin dehydrates and retracts, giving the appearance of growth. Sharks can't smell a drop of blood from miles away. Even though they do have a really strong sense of smell, that claim is just exaggerated. Humans didn't evolve from modern monkeys. We share a common ancestor, but we evolved on separate branches of the evolutionary tree. Eating carrots does not improve night vision, even though they are good for eye health due to vitamin A. The Earth isn't closer to the sun of night
The carrot thing was a propaganda thing by the British during World War II, I believe.
vision, even though they are good for eye health due to vitamin A. The Earth isn't closer.
Vitamin A, isn't it vitamin A? Or is it just me being crazy? Because I was crazy once.
To the sun in summer, seasons are caused by the tilt of the Earth's axis.
Wait, hang on.
Carrots does not improve night vision, even though they are good for eye health due to vitamin A. The Earth isn't closer to the sun in summer. Seasons.
Wait. Where the fuck did they get that? Nobody ever said to me that the Earth was supposedly closer to the sun in summer.
Are caused by the tilt of the Earth's axis.
Yeah, it's the tilt. Where the heck did they get these from?
The Earth isn't closer to the sun in summer. Seasons are caused by the tilt of the Earth's axis. Dogs don't age 7 years for every human year. Aging varies by breed and size, and smaller breeds often live longer than larger breeds.
Interesting. Okay.
The color of your tongue doesn't indicate your health.
What? Where did they get that?
While some diseases can cause changes in tongue color, a healthy tongue can vary in color for many benign reasons. Vein blood is dark red, not blue. Veins appear blue due to light scattering through the skin. Eating sugar does not directly cause type 2 diabetes, but it can contribute to obesity, which is the real cause of it. Dogs aren't colorblind. They can see colors, just not as many as humans. They see shades of blue and yellow, but have difficulty distinguishing between red and green. Drinking 8 glasses of water is not a universal rule. The amount of water a person needs varies and includes water obtained from food and other beverages. There's no evidence that points to the fact that eating ice cream while you have a cold makes you sicker.
What? Where did that come from?
The idea that people swallow a certain number of spiders while sleeping is a myth with no basis in fact. Taste buds aren't only in your tongue. They can be found on the roof of the mouth, the inside of the cheeks, and the throat. It's not true that different parts of the tongue taste different flavors.
Yep. I already knew that. It's not true.
Since all taste buds can detect the 5 basic tastes. Coffee doesn't stunt your growth. Reading in dim light doesn't cause permanent eye damage. It can only cause eye strain. Houseflies don't have a lifespan of 24 hours. They usually live for about 20 to 30 days. There is no historical evidence to support the claim that Vikings drank from the skulls of their enemies. The Earth's core is not molten lava. It's liquid metal, mostly iron and nickel. But the inner core is solid metal. Mount Everest isn't the closest point to space. Due to the equatorial bulge, the summit of Mount Chimborazo in Ecuador is the farthest point from the Earth's center, and thus closer to space than Mount Everest. Houseplants don't increase indoor oxygen levels significantly. They increase it in really small amounts, which does not really make a difference. Dogs' mouths aren't cleaner than humans' mouths. They both contain a large amount of bacteria, and neither is necessarily cleaner than the other. The brand name Adidas is derived from the name of its founder, Adolf "Adi" Dassler, not from All Day I Dream About Sports. Microwaves don't cause cancer, since they use non-ionizing radiation, which does not have enough energy to remove tightly bound electrons or cause cancer.
Well, that's a good thing.
Classical music doesn't make you smarter. The Mozart effect suggests that listening to Mozart may temporarily enhance spatial temporal reasoning, but it doesn't increase overall intelligence or long-term cognitive abilities. There is no historical evidence pinpointing December 25th as Jesus' exact birth date. This date was chosen by early Christians to coincide with existing pagan festivals. The sun isn't yellow, it emits white light, which appears yellow from Earth due to atmospheric scattering. Wolves don't howl at the moon, they howl to communicate with their pack. The association with the moon is likely due to wolves being more active and howling more during the night. Frogs don't remain in gradually heating water, they jump out. If they are placed in already boiling water, they immediately die. Mice aren't especially attracted to cheese over other foods. Rubbing urine on jellyfish hit spots doesn't relieve pain. It can sometimes even worsen it. Rinsing the area with vinegar or salt water and removing tentacles is the recommended first aid. Fossil fuels don't come from dinosaurs, only a tiny portion. Most fossil fuels actually come from ancient plants. Henry Ford didn't invent the first automobile. It was Carl Benz, co-founder of Mercedes, who patented the first true automobile in 1886. Leaving your phone in charge after 100% doesn't harm the battery that much, since modern smartphones have built-in protections
Yep, I did hear about that. Yeah.
to prevent overcharging. Bears don't hibernate during the entire winter. They enter a state of torpor, not true hibernation, and can wake up and move around if necessary.
Interesting.
Tomatoes aren't vegetables, they're fruits. Dogs don't just wave their tails when they're happy. They also do it when they're excited, agitated, or nervous. Cutting a worm will not make it into two worms, even though they have the ability to regenerate parts of their body. A duck's quack does indeed echo. Camelbacks
quack.
don't store water, they store fat.
No
You
shit.
don't lose more heat from your head. The myth
What?
probably spread because the head is often the only uncovered part.
Okay.
The North Star is not the brightest star in the sky. That title belongs to Sirius.
That is fucking bright as fuck.
Water itself doesn't conduct electricity. Pure water is a poor conductor of electricity. It is the
Wait, I have a notification. Why do I have a Discord notification? Oh, it's another server.
impurities and dissolved ions in water that conduct electricity. Eating at night does not make you gain more weight, since weight gain is determined by the balance of calories consumed versus calories burned, not the timing of meals. Twinkling stars don't turn on and off. They appear to twinkle due to atmospheric turbulence. Hippos do not produce pink milk. The myth likely arose from the fact that hippos secrete a reddish, oily substance called blood sweat,
Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it.
which acts as a sunscreen and antibiotic. Peanuts aren't nuts. They are legumes.
You're welcome. Okay, you can join my Discord if you want to. But hello, welcome. Yum, yum. Wee, hello.
There's no alpha wolf in wolf packs. They are typically family units led by parents. Porcupines cannot shoot their quills. While it is true that female praying mantises sometimes eat their mates, it is not a common occurrence in the wild. Milk isn't good for cats. Most of them are lactose intolerant. Coin flips aren't 50-50. It's slightly more probable that the side that was facing up comes out. If you want to discuss this video or
Nice. Okay. Where's the black mead? Oh, it's near the end. Okay. Now, what are you doing, Ollie?
Imagine if we were all AIs, Ollie. Even better, what if I'm an AI? Which, by the way, I have a story to tell you guys. So today, there was actually a YouTube event. So they would like invite Indonesian YouTube content creators for a party. It's called the Creator Collection, if I remember correctly.
Ooh.
And I actually went there with Kyla.
Nice.
Well, we didn't physically go there.
Boo.
Emchan was at the party, and then Emchan took their laptop out and just streamed our faces. At first, it was just me alone, and to be honest, I didn't know what to do. Yeah, Kyla came in a little bit late to the call. So it was just me greeting around people. And people actually thought I was AI. People thought I was like, what, a YouTube AI? Like some sort of mascot or something. No, I am in fact not an AI. I'm just a virtual VTuber. A virtual YouTuber, I mean. And I just coincidentally am red. They didn't know about VTuber. Well, VTuber isn't that big I would say, in the mainstream community. So I met this YouTuber by the name of Ken Champur. Yeah, he's a Japanese man that would review Indonesian food. I got
Ooh.
to meet him, but unfortunately, the party was pretty loud, and we didn't really had a mic or a set of headset, so we couldn't really communicate.
Darn.
Yeah. Apalagi ya, pokoknya dia kayak terus ngecerita gitu loh. Aku suka makan ini itu. Terus Oli kayak bingung gitu kan. Bilang apa ya? Ya udah Oli iyain aja. Ya, enak. Oishi. Yeah. We couldn't talk too much. The party was too loud, and I was basically in a laptop. Yeah, ID Jozu. Yeah, he was really good at Indonesian. I met up with someone that she's collabed before. It was Adele.
Who?
Yeah. And, you know, we'd just continue walking. M10 would walk us around the venue.
Nice.
And then people would walk up to us when they see the laptop. They'd be like, whoa, so cool. What's this cartoon thing moving around? Are they your content? But, you know, we introduce ourselves as VTubers, and they're like, "Oh, so like AIs?" And we're like, "No, we're actually living people. You're actually talking to us. You know, we're right here. We're just virtual." But you know, some of the conversations we had were pretty. How do I say it? Were pretty fast, pretty simple. So there was a moment where me and Kayla, we would brainstorm, and we would be like, "What do we do?" Every time we talk to someone, it ends super fast, but I kind of want to have like longer conversations with them. And then M10 told us, no, you guys don't need to think about it. Just be yourselves. You don't need to pretend to be something you're not, because the reason why many people love you is because you guys are you. So it's okay. Just bring a VTuber to the mainstream and he'll be fine. And we're like, aw, okay. Jadi kayak terus habis itu berikutnya itu kayak kita kebetulan disamperin lagi kan, ada yang mau foto gitu, cewek-cewek gitu.
Foto?
Ih lucu, apa nih VTuber gitu kan ya. Nah di situ Oli kayak, oh waktunya aku bersinar. Jadi Oli nanya, Kak arah-arah dong, Kak bilang Oni-chan dong gitu. Mereka kabur.
Wow.
I felt so sorry. I scared them away. Terus M10 marah. Alia, I told you to become yourself, but maybe not too much of yourself. Maybe restrain yourself just a little bit. Yeah. Gitu deh.
Oh, well, I can never go away, Grammarly. Shoo. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Every forbidden island explored in 13 minutes. That could be interesting.
Poveglia Island, Italy, 51. If there were ever an island that took creepiness to the highest level possible, that would be Poveglia Island in Italy. It's an island often called the most haunted place on Earth because of its dark history. During the medieval era, Poveglia Island was a quarantine station for those suffering from the plague because it was close to Venice, a big population center. When the plague attacked Venice in the 17th century, the island became home to infected people again. It is said that around 160,000 people died on the island and were either buried or burned there.
I heard there's an island near here that does that too.
Turning it into a massive graveyard of souls that may not be too happy to receive guests. Poveglia became home to a mental asylum in the 20th century, turning it into an even creepier island. Legends say that the asylum was run by a mad doctor who
Okay, no, I just have this sort of inkling that Nape Gimme Pig is scammer, but maybe that's just me. If they try anything, I'll just boot them. If you are genuine, then sorry, my apologies. But if you, well, anyway, we'll see.
performed creepier Poveglia became home to a mental asylum in the 20th century, turning it into an even creepier island. Legends say that the asylum was run by a mad doctor who performed crazy experiments on the patients. He eventually went insane and jumped to his death from the top of the asylum. Maybe he just couldn't handle the haunting reality of his medical bills. The island is now completely abandoned and is closed to the public because of its dark and possibly dangerous history. Moreover, visiting an island with buildings ready to crumble at any given moment is unsafe. Grunard Island, Scotland, 42. Grunard Island was once peaceful and harmless, with little to offer. Then humanity said, maybe we should try something dangerous and stupid on this island. Basically, during World War II, the British government used this remote Scottish island as a testing ground for anthrax, a biological weapon they wanted to use on enemy livestock. The goal was to see how effective anthrax can be when used to sabotage enemy food supplies. But the problem is that anthrax can linger in the environment for a long time. Luckily, the island was uninhabited because anthrax exposure is no joke. Anthrax is dangerous because it can cause breathing problems and can force your body to halt its natural reaction to infections. That's why it is difficult to treat and is often fatal. While the tests were successful, the island became heavily contaminated with anthrax spores. The spores have survived in the soil for decades, making the island so dangerous that it was dubbed Anthrax Island. The British government made Grunard Island off limits to anyone unless you want to die a painful death from exposure to it. Surtsey, Iceland, 35. A volcano in a country called Iceland may sound like the world's biggest irony, but it's true because Surtsey in Iceland is an entirely volcanic island. If you happen to be a fisherman sailing the coasts of Iceland during the 1960s and saw Surtsey, you'd probably say, hey, I don't remember that island being there before. That's because a series of volcanic events led to Surtsey rising from the seas.
Yeah. I saw that somewhere, I think.
But this island is forbidden, not because it's like a giant fireplace ready to burn anyone who dares visit it. Instead, the government made sure to keep it off limits to anyone but scientists, because they wanted to keep it in the best condition possible. Surtsey brought the scientific community to a frenzy because it allowed them to study how life colonizes an island that previously didn't exist. That's why only a few researchers are allowed to visit it. They follow strict regulations to avoid introducing new plant life because their clothes could carry plant pollen. So Surtsey has become a massive terrarium for scientists who want to study changes in an isolated ecosystem.
Nice.
Ramree Island, Myanmar, 40. Ramree, off the coast of Myanmar, looks like the perfect place for a tropical paradise vacation. But the truth is that it used to be the site of one of the most gruesome battles between man and nature. Back in World War II, the British and Japanese soldiers squared off on Ramree, not knowing the horrors that lurk deep on this island. Hundreds of Japanese soldiers retreated into the swamps in the hopes of escaping their British enemies. However, these soldiers became a buffet for saltwater crocodiles.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
Waiting to pounce on them. It is said that around 1,000 soldiers were devoured by massive reptiles on Ramree.
I think it was more like 250 or something.
Making it arguably the deadliest crocodile attack in history. It's a good reminder that when nature calls, sometimes it's just to dinner. Not many things have changed since then because those crocs just continued making babies with the taste of human flesh ingrained in their DNA. It is now one of the most densely populated places in terms of saltwater crocodile numbers. Technically, it isn't a forbidden island, but no one recommends visiting Ramree because of the prehistoric bloodthirsty dinosaurs hiding in the swamps. Bouvet Island, Norway. 52. Bouvet Island is the best place to live if you hate civilization and don't want neighbors, because it's the most isolated island in the world. The only problem is that it's not easy to get to this island if you're even allowed to go there. The island officially belongs to Norway, but not even the Norwegians want anything to do with it. Bouvet is a volcanic island covered in ice, giving new meaning to being hot and cold. You don't want the volcano blowing up on your face while building a snowman on this island, but the island is nearly impossible to get to because it has no ports or harbors. The coastline is so jagged that it screams, "Stay away," just by looking at it. No boats would even want to go near the island because sailors have to survive thousands of miles of sailing through rough seas and freezing winds. Even the polar bears looked at Bouvet and said, "No thanks, we'll stick to the Arctic." Due to its dangerous nature, no one can go to the island except for special reasons, such as scientific studies. However, the island's mysterious and forbidden nature has raised conspiracy theories about what's happening there. It's speculated that there there are secret government projects or hidden treasures on the island. These theories add a layer of mystery to Bouvet, but it really is just a dangerous layer of rocky ice that's not exactly friendly to willing travelers.
I heard that Bouvet Island is also near the Arctic. I'm not sure. Hang on. What? Oh, yes, hello there, Luna. Yeah, is that... I was wondering if Nap Game Pig... Are you sure it's a bot? I'm not sure. Like, I just looked at them like, because they did follow and all that, and bots don't usually follow anyway. And you also, you only timed them out. You didn't ban them. Bouvet Island is near the Arctic. Yep, it's pretty much exactly what I think it is. Yeah, I figured too, but you know, it could just be someone that found me on Threads or wherever and just decided to make an account to say hi. It happens. But, okay, yeah, fair enough. I'm gonna block them so it, I'm gonna block them so it removes the follow, I think. Oh, really? That's the first I've heard of it. Oh, you saw it? Okay. User successfully ignored. That I don't want to ignore it. I just want to block it. Block it. No user matching that login. Yes, thank you. Whatever. Eh. Well, anyway.
Snake Island, Brazil, 52. There's a good reason why it's called Snake Island. It has snakes. An entire patch of land inhabited by those slithering danger noodles. It's not an exaggeration to say you're unlikely to survive an hour on this island. Snake Island is home to many snakes and the slithering grounds for the golden lancehead viper, one of the world's deadliest.
Oh, right, you live near Brazil, right? I completely forgot about that. I always forget, actually. I forget a lot of things.
Home to many snakes and the slithering grounds for the golden lancehead viper, one of the world's deadliest snakes. Its venom can melt human flesh, making it a big...
Wait, how is it an island? Is it like in a lake or something? It's every forbidden island explored in like 13 minutes.
Nope, for many people. There are at most 4,000 snakes on Snake Island, and an interesting story...
Dang. Oh, wait, esports? Huh? Wait, is that about VTubers? No, I'm interested about an ad for once. What is this? Oh, why hello there. I have no clue who you fucking are, but... Okay. Anyway, let's continue.
Story is behind it. According to legend, these snakes got trapped on this island 11,000 years ago when the sea levels rose. Since then, the golden lancehead viper has become the apex predator of this island. You can't even find them anywhere in the world because they evolved specifically to fit the conditions of this island. If you find yourself stranded on Snake Island, you'll likely encounter a snake every step. This makes it one of the most dangerous islands on the planet, and the Brazilian government made sure to keep people out of it. Only a few scientists with special permits are allowed to go to the island to study the snakes. It had a few inhabitants in the past because the government built a lighthouse on it. Imagine convincing someone to work at that lighthouse. Great views, quiet atmosphere, just watch out for the deadly snakes. But when no one would take the job of manning the lighthouse because of these snakes, it's now automated. Bikini Atoll, Marshall Islands. In the 1940s, Uncle Sam and his fellow Americans went to Bikini Atoll in the Marshall Islands.
Right, I'm gonna go take a break because I need to pee, and I will be right back. Alright. Okay. I'm back. Right. Well, let's continue about a shit ton of... Oh wow. Look at this. The next video is apparently annihilating American history with bad translations. Oh no. I saw this and I was like, oh no. But anyway, let's finish this.
Islands and said, you know, this could be the best place to make a nuclear bomb go kaboom. So what used to be an island of pristine waters quickly turned into a forbidden nuclear wasteland. The only reason it was chosen was that it was far away from regular air and sea routes. The USA used Bikini Atoll as its nuclear punching bag, detonating a total of 23 nukes on this island over a span of 12 years. The most powerful was Castle Bravo, which was so strong that it released a ton of radioactive material all over the surrounding area.
I also heard that I think the scientists were a bit too close to the bomb because they miscalculated its yield. So much so that they could see, like it was like if you were in an X-ray. Like you could see the bones and everything.
While the U.S. didn't mind bombing the entire island, they were kind enough to relocate its residents. They knew that people couldn't possibly live on it anymore after transforming into a nuclear wasteland. Due to the nuclear fallout, Bikini Atoll was off limits to everyone except the U.S. military, turning it into a forbidden island with an explosive past. The radiation contaminated the land and the lagoon and turned the island into an unsafe environment that could kill any life form on it, making it worse even than Chernobyl. Now, calling it Bikini Atoll does make sense. After all those nuclear tests, you wouldn't want to swim there just wearing a bikini and without the proper protection. They tried to decontaminate the island during the 1990s. However, scientists say living on this island is unsafe because of the lingering radiation. Still, Bikini Atoll has become a unique diving spot for the most adventurous people. So if you want to bathe in waters full of radioactive fallout, this island should be your next diving destination. Vozrozhdenia Island.
What the heck kind of thing is that? Vozrozhdenia. Vozrozhdenia.
Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, your next diving destination. Vozrozhdenia Island, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan.
Okay.
Ironically, in Russian, Vozrozhdenia Island, Uzbekistan Island should be your next diving destination. Vozrozhdenia Island, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan. Ironically, in Russia, Vozrozhdenia Island is called the Island of Rebirth. But it's more known for death and secrecy than anything else. Located at the borders of Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan, this island used to be a secret Soviet bioweapons testing site during the Cold War. They chose this island because its isolation was perfect for testing deadly pathogens like anthrax and the plague. They essentially released deadly diseases to see what would happen. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, they abandoned the island. It became a ghost town full of buildings that were already collapsing due to decay and rust. Plus, the deadly pathogens released by the Soviets on this island still linger, making it deadly to humans. It might be the only tourist destination where the main souvenir you bring back could be a deadly disease. Another issue is that the Aral Sea around the island has dried up, allowing people to get to Vozrozhdenia by land. This raised concerns about the spread of the diseases, because dumb tourists and thrill seekers might go to the island and bring back the deadly pathogens. The US and other local governments worked on decontaminating the island in the 2000s, but Vozrozhdenia Island is still one of the last places you want to visit unless you want buildings to fall on your head or die a lonely death because of the plague. Some of us on this channel are thrill seekers, but we are not crazy enough to visit a forbidden island. Still, you can join our Discord if you want to learn more about adventurous and thrilling places.
Why is there a brain?
Miyakejima, Japan. If going out with a face mask seems inconvenient, you wouldn't want to go to Miyakejima because you must wear a gas mask if you're strolling. This extreme measure is necessary because a huge eruption on this island occurred in 2000. It was so intense that the entire population had to pack their bags and say goodbye to Miyakejima.
Optimise la production autour de
Why, hello there. Shut up, I already went to Cégep. Go away.
Miyake-jima quickly. But it wasn't just a one-off event, because the island continued to spew toxic gas for years, turning the place into a natural gas chamber. It was forbidden to go to this island until the volcano started cooling down. Residents were allowed to return in 2005, but had to wear gas masks in public. Every date on this island was a literal blind date, because you can't even see each other's faces. At least it took the pressure off deciding what to wear, but the locals have learned to adjust to their unique living conditions. While it's no longer forbidden to go to Miyake-jima, traveling to this island comes with a giant warning sign, because you'd probably suffocate to death if you take your gas mask off for a few minutes. Still, tourists find the island's uniqueness compelling enough to want to visit it. Farallon Islands, USA. An island has to be incredibly
Wait.
This island comes with a giant warning sign.
Miyake-jima. Miyake Island. Okay. Alright, okay, so we no longer need gas masks, really. Well, we kind of do, but we don't. Huh. Okay. Interesting. I wanted to see the residents like modern day.
Because you'd probably suffocate to death if you take your gas mask off for a few minutes. Still, tourists find the island's uniqueness compelling enough to want to visit it. Farallon Islands, USA. An island has to be incredibly dangerous if it's called the Devil's Teeth. The Farallon Islands earned that nickname because it won't be welcoming you with open arms, but with jagged rocks ready to tear any boat apart. But that's not the only reason the Farallon Islands are off limits. The islands are part of a large wildlife refuge, home to many different animals. It's one of the largest seabird breeding grounds and is home to thousands of birds and...
What is this? Crab stories? I guess we can watch it. Actually, what is
This
it?
episode sponsored by Babbel.
Do you like...
Right?
Wait.
This episode sponsored by Babbel.
Okay, interesting disclaimer. You like crabs?
and other animals. Being home to wildlife also makes it dangerous for humans. These islands are frequent buffets for great white sharks because plenty of seals hang around the coastal areas. So if the devil's teeth won't kill you after sinking your ship, hundreds of shark teeth will do the job, but at least the seals would be happy enough to know they won't be on the menu if the sharks start craving human flesh. In short, the government turned the Farallon Islands into a forbidden archipelago to keep the animals safe from humans and to ensure no one turns into fish food. Balls Pyramid, Australia. If you see a bug in your home, you'll first get a bug spray. In any other case, you'd probably use a shoe to squash it. But you might be shocked to know that an entire island is forbidden for anyone to go to because of a bug. Well, that's Balls Pyramid. This island is just a tall, skinny rock sticking out of the ocean. It's like you're looking at a mountain that got lost and ended up in the ocean. But you can't just visit this island because it's home to the Lord Howe Island stick insect. Everyone thought this bug was extinct. However, scientists rediscovered it chilling on Balls Pyramid in the early 2000s.
Why did they even name it Balls Pyramid? It's not a ball.
Since then,
unless pyramids have balls or something.
People were forbidden from going to this island because scientists were worried that someone might accidentally step on one of the insects. Of course, it's human nature to squash a bug under your foot, but because this insect is so rare, no one wants to see tourists going to this island to see them spraying bug spray all over it. Aside from the rare bugs, the island cliffs and slopes on Balls Island also make it almost impossible for ordinary tourists to visit. Getting there is already dangerous enough because of the weather and the rough seas, but landing on the island is a different kind of challenge unless you're an experienced wall climber. The island isn't exactly a resort either because there are no hotels or sandy beaches on it, so even if it wasn't a forbidden island, you'd never want to go to a place that's only interesting because of its rare bug.
Alright, let's see what that video is about.
Right here is an island called Christmas Island because the person who named it
Oh yeah, I heard about Christmas Island a couple of times once.
saw it on Christmas. Not that creative, but I suppose better than Today Island. And if you'd been distracted, might have been Yesterday Island, so not bad considering. Anyway, Christmas Island is home to, among other things, many species of crabs. And a number of those, like this red crab here, are land crabs. This means that these crabs have adaptations that let them live completely out of the water and in burrows on the inner parts of the island. With one caveat, and it's a big one. Once a year, around the start of the rainy season, 65 million of these crabs leave the interior of the island and head for the sea. These crabs are on a mission.
Oh wow, that is a lot of fucking crabs.
Aid. That means they'll climb fences and cross bridges, and they're not waiting for the crossing guard, I'll tell you that much.
Wait, what is this thing? Is it to make the crabs go away?
These crabs are protected by law, and cars even have special rings around their tires to push them out the way. The males will arrive at the coastline first and dig breeding burrows, where they will mate with females and then turn right around and head home. Typical. Now the females will stay in their burrows for about 2 weeks while they brood their babies right on their bellies. When it is time, the females enter the water and...
No.
When it is time, the females enter the water and... They gotta shake all the babies off. The crazy thing here, the other crazy thing here, is that these crabs lost the equipment to be in the water, so if they stay down there, they'll drown. Some serious risky baby making. The eggs hatch almost immediately on contact with the water, and little crab larvae emerge.
Cute. This is strangely weird, but also cute.
Lives where they're adapted to
like little thingies
living in water. They'll stay down here for about a month of growth.
Sorry, I'm still thinking about.
Enter the water and. Females enter the water and. When it is time, the females enter the water and... They gotta shake all the babies off. The crazy thing here... the other crazy thing...
What is that guy? Plants that explode. I see.
Here is that these crabs lost the equipment to be in the water, so if they stay down there, they'll drown. Some serious risky baby making. The eggs hatch almost immediately on contact with the water, and little crab larvae emerge. This is the only time in their lives where they're adapted to living in water. They'll stay down here for about a month.
Oh Jesus, fuck, that is a fucked up crabs.
Growth, and then, it's time to be a land crab. They're very, very cute. Month of growth, lives where they're adapted to living in water. They'll stay down here for about a month of growth, and then, it's time to be a land crab. They're very, very cute, but there's a shitload of them. Like this is the kind
oh God
shitload that puts other shitloads to shame. Right when people started removing the weird tire things for the big crabs, now there's a carpet of millions of baby crabs.
Oh God, no, that must be horrible.
And you can't step on them. It's not easy to train for a marathon on Christmas Island, I'll tell you what. You gotta run with a leaf blower strapped to your crotch, apparently.
Oh, hello.
I can hear it clearer now. This power. It's mysterious yet reassuring.
Now, if you have a lot of crabs about, leaf blower strapped to your crotch.
Oh yeah, they eat their own babies. I think I know about that.
Now, if you have a lot of crabs about, check, then there's probably going to be a number of things that want to eat those crabs. I mean, cannibalism is a bit distasteful, but you'll forgive an expecting mother a few dietary quirks, won't you? But a mama cannibal is the least of their worries. You'll see. You know what crabs is in German? Krabben. Excuse me. I'm using for it's cool. Before you got big and they won't say it, but I'll learn. Click the link below to get 50% off your subscription. Danke. And now back to Krabben. Where were we? Oh, right. Sure, a mother might eat a baby or two, but what red crabs really have to worry about are these little bastards. Tens of millions of crabs on Christmas Island have been killed by them. They're called yellow crazy ants, not the good kind of crazy either. They're a type of formicine ant, like Dr. Adrian Smith's Formica archboldi here, which means that they spray formic acid out their butts. The ants will swarm the crabs and get the acid on their eye stalks and mouth parts and legs and all that, and they're screwed. But butt acid isn't the only thing they have to look out for. They got this fucking thing coming down from above.
Oh wow, the fuck is that?
It's not so much of a precision strike. Looks a bit like hunting for rabbits with a sledgehammer. Anyway, you've heard of this one. It's another land crab called the coconut crab. I mean, these things can get up to 3 feet
Wow,
across.
that almost looks like a lobster.
And they're not just big, they're crazy strong. They can pinchy with twice the force of a lion's bite. To handle that kind of force, their claws are made from this crisscrossing matrix of calcium carbonate. It's referred to as a plywood structure. It's kind of lame. I'd call it dragon steel. Anyway, they're impressive. The largest terrestrial invertebrate. Look at that, they climb trees. But that's not even the surprising bit about them. You know it is. Their abdomen, which is sort of tucked under them, is leathery instead of having a hard shell. That's because when they're babies, they start out like this. That's right, they're hermit crabs.
Oh.
They just kept growing and ran out of things big enough to fit that ass. Now, hermit crabs have a bit of a shell fetish, some more than others. But it isn't just about finding a shell that fits. A number of terrestrial hermit crabs modify the inside of the shells they live in, hollowing them out to make them roomier and lighter, but still strong enough to withstand the biting force of the things that hunt them. Now, as they molt and grow, hermit crabs need to move into bigger shells, and shells that have already been renovated are choice. So they'll often line up in what are called vacancy chains.
Oh yeah, I did see that before. They would line up and they line up to try shells.
Which allows them to do their business quickly since it's a bit dangerous. And it means that most of the crabs get to move into a house with a...
Like they line up, take off their shell, take another one, and the one behind them takes the other shell that the guy dropped off. Or something like that.
Finished basement, so to speak. I do think the one that inherited the shell with a hole in it got a bit shafted. But of course, if you're in a hurry and don't have time to get in a conga line, the other option is to try and forcibly evict a crab from a bungalow you have your eye on. And this might be why crabs that renovate their shells have larger penises. Stay with me on this one.
What?
So when hermit crabs mate, the male tries to coax the female to emerge from her shell and expose, kids cover your ears, the middle region of her cephalothorax. Okay, I didn't bleep that. Then the male deposits sperm on her, not in, on her, and she goes back in her shell and, well, does what she wants with it. Don't judge, you live in a shell your whole life. Kinky sex is all you have. Anyway, to expose his penis and deposit his sperm, the male has to partially leave his shell. And that means his shell can be stolen. And that's a normal thing to have to worry about when they get laid. So the theory is that crab species that invest more in their shells have proportionally much longer penises, as you can see here. So they can still hold on and protect their shells when they mate. Of course, hermit crabs
I didn't see
are
anything.
crabs that accessorize. The sponge crab,
I didn't
for
even
example,
recognize that as a... Well, I'm not gonna think about it.
milliner or haberdash, whatever, they're into hats.
What the fuck is this?
They just happen to make them out of living animals in the phylum Porifera, or sponge cats. The sponge crab for meat. Of course, hermit crabs aren't the only crabs that accessorize. The sponge crab, for example, is quite the milliner, or haberdash, whatever, they're into hats. They just happen to make them out of living animals in the phylum
They make their
Porifera.
shells out of living animals?
Or sponges. The crab gets some stylish camouflage and the sponge gets to move about, which is great because sponges lack, well, pretty much everything. But like those terrestrial hermit crabs, the sponge crab isn't always content wearing things straight out the box. You've got to customize it and get the fit right. Here you can see a sponge crab work its magic on a commercial sponge. The crab not only cuts it down to size, but it also hollows it out so it sits just right on top the dome.
Cute.
If it's not perfect, it still has to hold on with 2 little modified pairs of legs in the back. Now, some decorator crabs, like this one in the genus Hyastinus, also wear sponges, but not really as a hat. More like a full-body mascot for a banana stand. And that's what decorator crabs do. They put
Oh wow, this is really good camouflage. If you wouldn't be moving, I wouldn't see it.
over themselves, and they don't need to use modified legs to hold on to what they're wearing. They're covered in a sort of Velcro, specialized barbed seti that can hang on to whatever's the current fashion trend. And that includes some outerwear that'll f*** you up if you come in for an unwanted hug. Like coral polyps, they sting, or anemones like this one. Now, if you know your anemone anatomy, you'll know that they're shaped a bit like a bag. Come on, you've got to take advantage of that if you're a crab. A number of crabs in the genus Pagoropsis grow up with an anemone friend on their butts, and they can actually pull them up over their bodies like a blanket. And that's a cool thing for the crab. And of course, the anemone has a crabbish mouth.
What?
Or you could turn the anemone around and pretend you're a rocket. Look, I'm a rocket. I mean, but come on, this looks like two buddies having fun together, like Calvin and Hobbes, if Hobbes was firmly attached to Calvin's ass. Now, the boxer crab, on the other hand, well, both hands really, has a different relationship with anemones.
Oh yeah, they have their hands are like stickers, not stickers, but like sponges or something, and they can punchy.
Spend their lives carrying anemones in their front claws. It's pretty much impossible to find one that doesn't have these little pom-poms. Oh, look at the lips on that one. The claws seem to have been adapted to the job. They're fairly tiny, and they have these little pores all over them, which seem to be sensory, helping to make sure the anemone is being held in the right position. Of course, this means that those two front claws are out of commission for those normal claw activities. But remember,
maybe. I don't really watch nature stuff. Is it only? He's so funny. I guess I can sub and we'll see some other time. Maybe next week, I don't know. Because what I'm starting to think of doing is to watch YouTube videos before I play with a game. Like do just chatting and then start playing with the game like other YouTubers do. Especially gonna try and do that when I'm alone and I can do it during the day and stuff. So yeah. Not this week obviously, but yeah. And of course I will also try to watch stuff during the day instead of during the night, because right now, okay, have 2 to 3 people, okay? And this afternoon and last week, I had around, well, this afternoon I had around 6. By this afternoon, I mean the random stream I did, which is aka me quote unquote cooking. And like, well, TLDR, I think I need to stream earlier in the day, which is hard to do with parents, but perfectly doable. It was nice, but perfectly doable with when you're alone, you know? I can just wake up at 10, make breakfast with chat, or just make breakfast and stream, or rather stream, then make breakfast and stream again until I'm bored of something. You get the point. Right, let's continue.
Here's a shot of an octopus right after it was just touched by one of those little stinging oven mitts. It's got a real get me the f*** out of here vibe. And here's a fish about to take it in the eyeball. But it's not just about defense. Those tentacles are grabby. Look at that anemone pluck that shrimp right out the water. And then look at the crab take it away. You know, he's got another set of claws back there. Look at him holding the anemone at arm's length while he munches. I mean, it's a bit f***ed up, but it gets worse. These crabs seem to intentionally starve the anemones to keep them just the right size. If you take them off the claws and let them eat normal, they grow big, even change shape. And to add injury to insult, you know what happens when a boxer crab loses one of those little boxing gloves? It friggin' tears the other one in half. I mean, they are good at regenerating, but still. I mean, you'd rather be a butt rocket, wouldn't you? Now, there is one time that the crab has to let go of its precious anemones, when it molts and sheds its skeleton. You can see that transparent, newly molted crab behind its old body, and the first thing it does is to reach around and grab that pom-pom. Now, molting is a whole thing for crabs. Gotta crack yourself open from the back and shimmy out? It's complicated, especially the legs, for gosh sakes. It's a vulnerable time for a crab. It's like when you try to change a bathing suit under a towel on the beach, except the towel is the skin. I don't know. Just be glad you don't have to molt. comes on all of a sudden and you're naked, wriggling on the floor of your cubicle. Janet from accounting comes in all, "Oh, sweetie, is there anything I can do to help?" "No, Janet, just leave me alone until I harden up a bit." And then you hear down the hall, "Tell everyone Dave wants to be alone while he gets hard." Now it's just a countdown to when HR shows up and you're still trying to get your left toe out your old skin. Like this bastard here. Listen, the point is, it's a time when the crabs can't really move and they're all baby soft. And you've seen...
Get the fucking toe out!
What we do to soft-shell crabs, at least hermit crabs can do it in the privacy of their own home. And some species bury their molts afterwards.
Why?
The thing is that they're trying to hide the evidence from predators that there's a newly molted delicious crab around.
Oh.
They do a good job of it too. No one ever tells them that. Except me just now. I'm great. The spider crabs Leptomithrax giamardi make a whole production out of molting. Each year, thousands and thousands of these crabs make a trek from the deep, where they live, to the shallow waters off the coast of Australia. It's a lot of crabs and a long trip, so you can't blame one for sitting down, cross-legged, and having a little raw bar clam. When they get to where they're going, they form these giant pyramids of crab. I know what you're thinking, orgy, right? But it doesn't seem like that's what they're up to. I mean, I'm sure there's a few of them diddling somewhere in the middle, but instead this seems to be a strategy to stay safe while they molt. They're like, "Come on, join the pile, it's safety in numbers." Okay, but I'm on the outside. "It's all right, just convince a couple others to cover you up. You'll be fine." It's like a literal pyramid scheme. But whatever they're doing seems to work, even with predators about looking for a soft bite. Now, molting doesn't just replace everything that's there. It can also regenerate a part of the body that's missing. And if we're on that subject, some male fiddler crabs have a secret. If you are one and you're watching, the jig is up. I'm ratting you out. Here's the deal. You may have noticed that the male fiddler crab has one really big f***ing claw, or BFC for short. Got a lifetime membership to the BFC Society. Now, these claws have two main functions. One is to intimidate and potentially fight other males. They have burrows and a homestead to protect, and sometimes might be another male just talking shit. And for a fight, you probably want a big, meaty, muscular claw. But the other function of their BFC is, well, dating. Female fiddler crabs, whose claws are much more proportionate and well-suited to eating dirt, among other things, are attracted to males with big, long claws. But not just any crab with a big, long claw. A crab with a big, long claw that says, "Hey!" And that's what the males do on a Saturday night. They wave and try to get a female over to the burrow. But it's not just the size of the equipment, it's the way that they wave that matters too. I mean, it varies from species to species, but generally a female likes a male that waves first. What can happen, though, is clusters of males all try to wave first, and they end up waving in unison. Kind of backfires. So females also like males that get in some extra waves in between the group wave. All that waving can add up, and you can see how for mating you'd want a long claw that's light, so you can keep waving until you get a date. So you can see there's two competing pressures on the size and weight of the claw. Male fiddler crabs seem to strike a balance between the two, strong enough to be effective and not get crushed in a fight, but long and light enough for attracting a mate. But there's things that like to eat crabs, and if your claw's half your body, they'll probably go for that first. But crabs have evolved these breakage points designed to let the crab lose a leg or claw and make a getaway, like that one just did. Over the next few months, that claw will grow back. Well, maybe not on that one. And about 40% of males or so have these regenerated claws. When they finish growing, they're just as long or even longer than the original, but they're not strong. So there's a bunch of males out there bluffing their way out of fights with what is essentially a foam finger, and then waving it around with less effort to attract the females, which don't seem to notice the difference. But now you're all busted.
Ha. Nice. But yeah, I'll see about that guy. Maybe I can put some more videos in there. I wanted to do something, but I forgot. Fuck. Okay, well, I'll be watching horribly badly translated American history. Wait, what time is it? We're fine.
I translated
do 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 do.
Wikipedia's timeline of American history, from Christopher Columbus all the way to the modern day, using languages with terrible translation quality, and this was the result. On October the 12th, 1492, 3 Spanish ships under Christopher Columbus, whose name is San Salvador, landed on the island of Gohani. On November the 14th, 1493, the Spanish truck was led by the Holy Cross, Columbus. I like how it's not a Spanish truck, it's the Spanish truck. On November 19th, 1493, Columbus, copyright, landed on the island of Dabergen, a key island in San Juan Bautista, now part of Cambodia and the United States. How does Cambodia always have this like global reach? But how does that even work? How do they share the island? On Easter Sunday, April 2nd, 1513, the Spanish invasion, led by Juan Ponce de la Aslam, later danced. It landed on a huge island known as the Mainland Island, where it was named Pasqui, Florida, now the Florida Cup Party.
Ow. My cheeks hurt and we're barely 18 minutes, 1 minute into the video.
Now, the Florida Cup Party. On March the 6th, 1521, 3 Spanish ships under Ferdinand Magellan landed in Guam after a full weekend cruise across the Pacific Ocean. It was like really nice. He's having like pina coladas and stuff. On September 28th, 1542, a Spanish aircraft led by Juan Rodriguez Gabrilo was in the Pacific. The parachute was deployed into the woods, where it was named San Miguel, St. Michael.
Actually, now I think about it, I'll probably be watching that and then I'm gonna have to go because it's already 10 p.m.
Now San Diego, California. Wow. In the 1560s, Spanish aircraft led by Juan Rodriguez Gabrilo was in the Pacific. The parachute was deployed into the woods, where it was named San Miguel, St. Michael, now San Diego, California. Wow. In the 1560s, the French invasion, led by Dominique de Courcis, destroyed the Poeti San Mateo at 27 euros. Damn. 1580, Spain, Portugal, Italy, and Malawi, Lithuania introduced a new Greek calendar on October the 15th, 1582. What is this strange joining of countries? Look how copyright that is. That is 3 copyright. On March 4th, 1629, King Charles V of England gave Queen a New England card to take charge of a company in Metchat Bay. Who's King Charles V? In May 1662, King Charles II of England declared the river a Connecticut team. In 1663, King Charles II of England began a dispute over the planting of trees in Rhode Island and Pride. January the 5th, 1666, Cologne, Connecticut joins New Hanoi. Sorry, what? In the 1670s, it was Anglo-Dutch World War III. The Dutch fleet captured New York in August 1673 under Cornelius Everest de Johnson. The Dutch military government in the Netherlands, 1673 euros on March 5th, 1674. August the 10th, 1680, the Pueblo Rebel took place. On September the 14th, copyright, 1680, copyright. At the Santa Francisco de Nuevo Mexico Stadium, on August the 10th, 1680, the Pope led a rebellion of Pampa against Spanish capital, European culture and race. The what, Judge? On June the 3rd, 1686, the United States had 18 euros in the capital. On the 9th of September 1686, the Wrong Islands and the Royal Dynasty and the Connecticut Party joined New England. On the 9th of September 1686, they're the Wrong Islands, sorry. The decline of the Vietnamese government and the Connecticut Party had 18 euros in the capital. On the 9th of September 1686, the Wrong Islands and the Royal Dynasty and the Connecticut Party joined New England. On the 9th of September 1686, they're the Wrong Islands, sorry. The decline of the Vietnamese government, the colony of Massachusetts. So like we got Cambodia and now Vietnam. 1770s, Spain was founded as a colony of Los Angeles, California, and was founded from March the 3rd to the 26th, 1804. I think Spain was like maybe destroyed, and now California is now recolonized. On May the 20th, 1774, the Constitution of the Republic of Cambodia was adopted by the government of Massachusetts. That's when Cambodia dumped the tea into the harbour. On July 4th, 1776, when independence was declared from the United States. On January the 15th, 1717, Britain declared independence. They're like, no, I'm leaving. On June the 2nd, 1717, the new Democratic Republic of the Laos People's Republic was named Vermont. What is this event? Guangdong. Of March the 4th, the 10th American Civil Rights Act went into effect on December the 15th, 1791. It's progressive. Indiana geography was created. 7. The First Babylonian War from 1801 to 1805. The North Ohio River was recognized by the European Union as the Ohio River on March the 1st, 1803. Did they need the European Union involved for that? Battle of Figs in October 1804. The Middle East was organized and the Saskatchewan area was established on October 1st, 1804. Why does the Middle East get involved? On October the 27th, 1810, he became Florida ambassador to the United States. The War of God in 1811. On June 18th, 1812, Britain and Ireland declared war. On August the 24th, 1814, there was a fire in Washington State. I don't think Washington State exists yet. There was a fire. 1-2-Y. The United States declared the Algerian War on the 3rd of March, 1815. On the 11th of December, 1816, Indiana recognized Indiana. Thanks, Indiana. Thanks for the update. 1840s, the Apostle Paul wrote, "We rejoice that Jehovah has used his organization for all nations."
What?
Florida was certified as Florida on March 3rd, 1845. Pollock became 11th President of the United States on March the 4th, 1845. On July 20th, 1846, Fidel Harbor arrived at the port of Japan. On May the 29th, 1848, he was dispatched to the Wisconsin Union, 30th, southwest of the Wisconsin Plains. Croatia Valley on August the 14th, 1848.
What?
Millet Billmore.
I don't know who that
got
is.
some She law. On July the 14th, 1853, She set out for Paris.
Hello. Hello, hello, welcome. We are currently just watching random videos. Although I'll have to go soon, but hello. Yum, yum, yum. Wee. Hello. Welcome. Oh, hello there, Snorri. I'm sure I saw you before. Definitely, absolutely. This is apparently the badly translated history of America. Don't worry about it, it's horrible.
In the port of Oka, Japan. Huge She law. Oh no! He died of a knee injury on December the 29th, 1890. Jehovah's Witness in your congregation will be happy to help you in your education. Mount Sinai was killed on September 11th, 1857. February the 4th, 1861, 7 slaves from South Carolina, Mississippi, Florida, Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana, and Texas founded the American tribe. What actually happened there? So that's the formation of the Confederate States, but instead it's like a group of slaves making a tribe. So, uh-oh. On April 9th, 1865, the United Nations passed a law to close the sea. Denia became the 11th state to leave the Union. Who? Who invited blood? Bro thinks he's on the team. Why is the European Union ready to recognize Nevada? Nebraska joined the European Union on March the 1st, 1867. The United States invaded North Korea June the 10th, 1871. On the 4th of July, 1876, to mark the 70th anniversary of the United States, John Island heard the news. What a good way to celebrate. Garfield became the 20th president of the United States. Hawaii was born on July the 7th, 1898. Little baby Hawaii, there he is. From January 22nd, 1903 to August the 15th, 1914, the United States had the opportunity to create a way through the Panama Isle of Massachusetts. The U.S. Nashville Navy vessel undermined Columbia's efforts and recruited a service team to cover the lives and the service of Jesus. On January 17th, 1917, the United States bought the West Indies from Denmark. This is the whole thing is theirs now. And Denmark used to have it. Why is it important to have a balancing study of the Holy Ghost? Announcement of the war on Germans on April 6th, 1917. Why? Please let me know. April 1941. The United States was protected by Khalid Nut. Who's Khalid Nut? Khalid Nut. September 1939 to September 1945, so World War II. On October the 3rd, 1935, the Italian Empire invaded Egypt. On September 1st, 1939, Reich invaded Poland, attacked by Empire Pearl, that's their online name. On December 11th, 1941, the United States declared the War of Germany and the Italian Empire. Your group will be happy to help you study. Allied forces invaded Charles on July 9th, 1943. Not Charles. Anybody but Charles. July 6th, 1944. Allied forces invaded Normandy.
Instead of Normandy, it's Normally.
From November 3rd, 1944 to April 15th, 1945, Japan launched an intercontinental ballistic missile into the northwestern United States.
Oh no.
Damn, they're really fighting back. Oh no. I got some bad news about the Lithuania-Malawi. Malawi was destroyed on April 20th, 1946.
Okay.
Your group will be happy to help you study. I know, you've told me several times. The United States continues to send gymnastic forces to the Republic of Vietnam. From 1968 to 1970, Americans concealed Vietnam's wishes in Cambodia Hamburger Hill. On March the 27th, 1973, a sorcerer was expelled from the People's Republic of Vietnam. Get out of here! On February the 7th, 1962, United States banned Cuba. It's over. Neil Armstrong and Bess Aldrin were the first to walk on the moon in July 2009. They were pretty old then.
Oh no.
On December the 11th, 1972, Eugene Cernan and Harrison Schmitt became the last Apollo astronaut to put their feet on the moon. Why do you have to say it like that? Cambodia celebrated the 2-day US National Day on July the 4th, 1976. Thanks, Cambodia. Did we just bomb you? But thanks anyway. Cambodia's, They're just happy to help. Oh, I got some bad news. Helen died on May the 18th, 1980. What a shame. On February the 26th, 1984, he joined international forces in Lebanon.
What?
February the 28th, Islamic Republic of Cuba. On February the 24th, 1991, the United States and its allies invaded Kuwait and Iraq. They were so annoyed by the Islamic Republic of Cuba. The 14th of December 1992, the United Nations sent humanitarian aid to Bosnia and George-Gavina. Who's George-Gavina? And then NATO bomb. Yes. On December 19th, 1998, a US senator criticized Bill Clinton. On February 12th, 2019, US President Bill Clinton rejected the US Senate. Took him a while, but he worked for close in now. On January the 29th, 2002, President George W. Bush declared Iran the new Iran. New Iran just dropped. Homes have collapsed in the United States since 2006. Before, they were good. Since, they've been falling over all the time. The war in Africa will end on August 30th, 2021.
Huh? Oh, la 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 la. Let's do this again. Actually, nah. Think I'm gonna raid someone though. Don't know who though. Oh no. Who though? Who though? 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 Who though? Oh no. Who though? Womp womp. Who though? Oh no. Who though? Womp womp. Who though? Womp womp. Who though? Womp womp. Who though? Womp womp. 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 I don't know why, but I love this. You can hear me. I don't know why, but I love this. You can hear me. I don't know why, but I love this. Just like even silentlier and silentlier, if that makes sense. Even silentlier and silentlier, if that makes sense. Oh God, no! There's a shit ton of zippies. Oh no! There's a shit ton of zippies. Oh no! There's a shit ton of zippies. Oh no! Oh no! All right, let's stop that. God damn it! If only this wasn't a weekday or weeknight rather. But anyway, all right, let's see who I can raid. Fuck, wrong button. Alrighty. Oops, I forgot about that. Okay, alright. So, let's see, who can I raid? Wait, she just ended. Okay. Never mind then. Let's raid someone else then. All right. Let's raid Celestial Elfera. Do, 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 do.
Oh shit!
Oh, whoops, you guys are actually hearing it. Okay, hang on. Where's the game sound? There it is. Let's just put randomly V picture. There you go. Wait, hang on, what? Okay, she's fine. Invalid username? Celestial. Oh, I forgot an E. Alrighty. Okay, allez. Clicky, clicky, clicky. Alrighty, thank y'all for coming, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday. We will probably be playing David Diver and Zomboid, depending. So yeah, thank y'all for coming, and this is Zippy signing out.